All right, guys, let's talk about military and law enforcement instructors. So, unfortunately, the barrier to entry in our industry is extremely low. There are no prerequisites, no minimum standards or requirements to call yourself an instructor, unless you're teaching like state mandated curriculum, and even then it's a total joke. So, the results of that is you have an industry saturated with people who have no business holding a firearm, let alone teaching you how to shoot a firearm, presenting themselves as subject matter experts in order to make a buck. Now, unfortunately, the biggest offenders I've seen are prior military and prior law enforcement, specifically prior SWAT guys and prior special operations. Everyone and their brother who gets out of insert unit here thinks they're qualified to teach shooting, and that's just not the case. Your average white side soft guy is like a C-class shooter, same for SWAT. At the highest levels of special operations, you've got guys coming out of OTC, doing some team time, and they're probably shooting around an A-class skill level. And don't get me wrong, that's very proficient, that's very good, but there's still a massive skill disparity there. Compared to your high-level competitors, like realistically, your average soft dude against like a USPSA Grandmaster, it's like Michael Jordan playing the JV basketball team in a middle school. It's night and day, and that's no fault of their own. It's not a slight against these guys. It's just the nature of the beast, right? You have to be proficient at a lot of tasks to perform in these units. You have to be good at shooting, at mobility, at battle drills and SUT, at medical, at physical fitness, so on and so forth. There's not enough time or resources to allocate to shooting specifically to generate legitimately good shooters. So, unfortunately, society kind of conveys SWAT and special operations as the pinnacle of shooting. They're the highest level of armed professional, therefore they should be the best shooters, right? It's not realistic whatsoever. You're much better served spending your hard-earned money on actual shooters if your intent is to progress in shooting. If you want to take a small unit tactics class or a CQB class or whatever, by all means, seek out those guys. If you're a brand new shooter and you're just looking for firearm safety and like those very surface level skills, foundational skills, those guys probably have something to offer you. But if you have a decent grasp of the fundamentals and your goal is to progress as a shooter, you need to seek out high level shooters. There's no way around it. I don't think most of these guys are willfully deceiving you and trying to take advantage of you. They probably just don't understand that this skill disparity exists. They don't know what high-level shooting actually looks like. That said, I do think there are a handful who are just grifters. They are taking advantage of the ignorance of the civilian populace. They are using that military marketing to make a buck, and they're robbing you, right? Now, I'm not going to say any names.
I retract it, I look left, I look right. I look left, I look right. I look left, I look right.
I'm also curious like how fast my split times are gonna be on this. Whew. Nice!
But I think you probably have an idea of who comes to mind when I talk about the popular YouTube or social media instructors with that kind of background, right? Now, if you insist on having somebody with that kind of background as your instructor, please seek out someone who has both that SWAT or special operations background and has performed at a high level in competition. There are a handful out there. You've got Joe Farewell, who's a SWAT dude, high-level 3-gunner, USPSA Master or Grandmaster. You've got Matt Pranka, USASOC guy, USPSA Grandmaster. Shannon Smith, former Ranger, USPSA Grandmaster. Frank Proctor, SF dude, USPSA Grandmaster, so on and so forth. There's a handful of us out there who have done both, right? Now, that's the exception and not the rule. And anything we had to offer you in terms of shooting and teaching you how to structure your practice and progress and identify inefficiencies, that's all come from our own time and our own dime outside of work. That's not from the military and law enforcement background. Unfortunately, it's just something we have to utilize to market because the civilian populace kind of prioritizes that when they seek out instructors, as backwards as that is, right? So again, just if you're going to seek out instruction, look for somebody who has credentials beyond that military law enforcement background. If that's their only credential, big red flag. I would strongly caution against giving them your money. There are much more deserving instructors out there who would be happy to teach you the right way. And frankly, like, I'm not trying to take money out of these guys' pockets. I'm not trying to compromise their living, but I am trying to save you as the student from wasting $600, 2 days, and 1,000 rounds to find out you learned absolutely nothing, or even worse, to actually take to heart what some of these guys have to say and stifle your progression going forward. So again, if you're going to seek out instruction, just do your due diligence, vet these guys based on demonstrable performance. If their only credentials are that military law enforcement background and their only advertising is fast splits and they don't show any of the hits, probably not somebody you want to spend your money with. So if you have any questions on how to vet your instructors, or you need help vetting your instructors, let me know in the comments, email me. I'm more than happy to help, but please don't waste your money on gimmicks, right? And that's the common trend amongst these guys. They teach gimmicks. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll see you next time.